Hello, heroes and Zargons. I'm Alfred, and this is the Trials and Tribulations of Zargon, a series which details the many ways in which the Emperor's heroes foil Zargon and his minions in their plots to conquer the Empire. In it, we'll review the published quests and any house rules or modifications I'm using to make the game more interesting and challenging. This episode, we'll cover Quest 4, Prince Magnus's Gold. Mentor begins this quest by telling the heroes 3 treasure chests have been stolen while being taken to the Emperor. A reward of 240 gold coins has been offered to any group of heroes who can return the chests and all of the gold. The thieves are a well-known band of orcs whose lair is in the Black Mountains, and they're led by Gulthor, a Chaos Warrior. This quest has a great but poorly utilized mechanic. The heroes, upon discovering the chests, roll 1d6 to move, and had it ever come up, I would rule had to drop the chest and draw weapons as an action to defend themselves. This never comes up, however, because by the time the heroes reach the chests, they should have a clear path to the stairs and no threat behind them. The heroes begin the dungeon in the southeast quadrant, passing from there along the southmost corridor to the southwest quadrant and out into the central corridor. Along the way, they fight through 3 rooms filled with orcs and goblins, 1 in the southeast quadrant and 2 in the southwest quadrant. These first 3 rooms are very linear, but from there, the dungeon opens up and the heroes have some options. They can go north or south off of the central corridor, though the south quadrant leads to a dead end. Going north takes the heroes into the northwest quadrant, where they can follow a branching path north or east, though both come together in the easternmost room of the northwest quadrant, where a secret door leads the heroes to a corridor that loops around the northeast quadrant to the easternmost corridor. If they follow the branching path east, they must fall in a pit trap or get hit by a spear trap. If they follow the branching path north, they merely fight their way through a single orc. After the corridor, there is one last guard room before the heroes encounter Gulthor and the chests. Partly because we played this quest after Quest 5 and 6, it posed no threat to my heroes. They waltzed their way through it on their way to another 3-quest evening. The linearity of the quest is problematic for all of the same reasons I listed in the retrospective on the Lair of the Orc Warlord, so please go watch that video if you're interested. The unique feature of this quest is the chest moving mechanic, and that is awesome, but it has to present the heroes with difficult choices. That requires danger and carefully balanced time pressure. I will likely use this mechanic again in a dungeon where the monsters are chasing the heroes and where those heroes are on a timer, but not too strict a timer. The heroes need to be able to drop the chests to fight sometimes and race ahead other times. Especially in situations like the one presented in this quest, where there are fewer chests than heroes, this mechanic is a great one to make use of some of the lesser used spells like Veil of Mist, Swift Wind, and Pass Through Rock, since the heroes will need to explore ways to keep the slow-moving hero ahead of the oncoming monsters. The other underexplored feature of this dungeon is the chests. I tempted my heroes with the option to keep these chests at the close of the dungeon. They decided that, in this case, they were more heroic than greedy, however, which is too bad because taking the gold would have set them on a path where I would have designed a new quest pack and some additions to later quests as the Emperor eventually narrowed down the list of possible thieves who had run off with the gold. Since I didn't have to do the designing, these ideas remain vague, but they, of course, included other crack squads of heroes hunting my players' heroes along the way. That's all I've got for today. If this review was useful to you, please smash that like and subscribe button with your favorite weapon. Then, I know folks have designed around this mechanic in the past since at least one of Amalgamash's Quest Jam quests used it. If you have a quest that puts this treasure movement mechanic to good use, please share it as we plot together in the comments below. If we run it in our campaign, I'll do a review of it on this channel, with your permission, of course.